Hi everyone, this is Craig Prater. I've been posting a bunch of shark videos recently, and I wanted to narrate one of these videos to tell you what we're looking for and some of the things that we see. I've been fortunate recently to become a volunteer drone pilot for Shark Lab at Cal State University Long Beach. And so what we do is we fly these search patterns along the beach, starting along the beach, and we're looking for water users, say swimmers, surfers, paddleboarders, etc., and then trying to see how close the sharks get to the humans or the humans to the sharks, and what kind of interactions there are between the sharks and humans, or sharks and other sharks. So this is the beginning of what we call a transect, where I'm scanning along the beach. We'll go out in one direction, then off the coast a little bit, and then come back, etc. Do 4 legs of a search pattern. And then if we find a shark during the search pattern, we'll zoom in on that. Looks like I stopped here for probably a camera glitch. All right, we're going again. And I'm looking to make sure that I keep the edge of the beach in the frame, and then looking out for interesting marine life. In addition to sharks, I like seeing dolphins and seals and sea lions and stingrays and things like that. Oops, so we've got a shark, and you can notice that there's also a dog playing in the surf there. So now I'm going to zoom in on or pan over to the shark. We start out at a higher altitude, say 60 meters up to maybe 80 meters. That's like 250 feet. But when we find a shark, then we want to go down a bit lower so that we can see a little bit more detail. But we also want to keep some field of view to see interactions, as I mentioned, with the shark and any other marine life and any people. This is kind of interesting right here. If you look closely, you can see in the sediment in the water the track of the shark, that kind of arc. This shark is doing what looks like to me some kind of search pattern. You see sharks either swimming more or less in a straight line when they're just sort of moving along, or more recently I've seen them doing kind of tight circles that makes me think that they're searching for something, most likely food. This is in a shallow area, shallow sandy area, and one of the shark's favorite foods. Oh, what do we see here? Close encounter with some stand-up paddleboarders here. The paddleboarders don't seem to see it, but the shark does, and the shark decides he or she's going to go in a different direction at this point. So what I was saying is that I see sharks do 2 different behaviors. One is this is the more typical kind of relaxed swimming, and then here is more of the searching pattern. So at this point, the shark has descended. So he or she's searching around on the sandy bottom. We can't see him as well because of the visibility in the close to the surf zone and in the shallow water. But you will be able to see the shark make tight turns, like he's looking for something. I think I was going to mention earlier that the shark's favorite food, according to the shark researchers, is stingrays, and stingrays like to settle themselves in the sandy bottom, hide themselves actually under the sand. So now I had run out of battery and went back to the to land and change batteries, and then I'm trying to reacquire the shark. And when I go out to find the shark I had been tracking before, happily there are now 2 sharks. This always makes it a bit of it's fun and also a challenge, because you have to decide which of the sharks you're gonna follow if they decide to part ways. And in this particular video, I saw something that I hadn't seen before. It's not uncommon to see sharks circling each other for a little while, or meeting each other and kind of veering off. But these sharks seem to join up, which is something I hadn't seen before. So you can see they're swimming on kind of like a parallel path here. and looks like the smaller shark to the left is maybe a bit deeper, closer to the bottom. And then we'll watch what happens. You can see that they will slowly get closer. And one thing to notice here is you can see how the water's a little clearer on the right-hand side, where the water's a little bit deeper, and that shark is closer to the surface. And then the shark on the left, the smaller shark, he's deeper down into the water and also in the cloudier water, which is closer to shore. So the beach is on your left here, and the deep water is on your right. So this is still kind of relaxed swimming. Oh, I was going to mention that sharks can't breathe unless water is flowing over their gills, and so the sharks will do this kind of lazy, relaxed swimming. Seems to be with no particular purpose. Like they're not feeding, they're not searching, they're just kind of chilling. So these two are just cruising along, and I think I'll stop talking for a little bit and wait till the next thing happens. One thing that's really pretty on the sharks, you can see when they get shallow, the one on the right is shallow. You can see the little ripples of sunlight on its back. I'll zoom in a bit later and show that in more detail. So it's basically the small waves, small ripples on the ocean that are refracting the light, making bright and dark bands on the back of the shark. All right, little shark is approaching closer. They're kind of now on converging paths. And for me, this is pretty unusual. I've never seen two sharks swimming side by side this close. On kind of a parallel path. As I said, I've seen them circling, and I've seen them, sort of meet head to head, but never, parallel like this. And I don't know if they're hunting together. Okay, and this is the fun part. You see how the small shark turned quickly, and the larger shark, who's on the surface, immediately turned and is now descending. So I'm guessing that small shark maybe thought it saw a stingray, and the large shark says, I want a piece of that. Maybe he wants to steal the prey from the smaller shark, or I don't know if this is some kind of collaborative hunting behavior. In any case, you can see that they're both kind of circling around here in the sandy bottom area here. And at this point, this isn't uncommon. When one of the sharks, or when a shark submerges, you can sometimes lose it. So I've lost the smaller shark. I don't know where it is anymore. The visibility could be 5 or 10 feet, or in some cases just you can barely see below the surface. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll go back to a higher altitude, zoom up a bit, so that I can hopefully reacquire the shark. But I don't think I found that other small shark for a while. But the bigger shark is still, doing his search pattern. And now coming back up to the surface. And then sometimes when the visibility, so the Shark Lab prefers that I stay at kind of a higher altitude so I can see those interactions between sharks, or sharks and people. Sometimes when the shark comes up to the surface and the visibility is really clear, what I like to do is go down low where I can get a clearer view, to be able to really admire the beauty of these animals. I don't see any tags on this particular shark. Sometimes you'll see a little tag poking out of the body of the shark. And then here is a really nice example of the water ripples that I was talking about, how little ripples on the surface are making the banding of bright and dark just from the refraction of the light. All right, well, thanks for watching this video. If you have questions, feel free to post them in the comments, and I'll do the best that I can to answer them. And if I don't know, I will try to find out the answers from the real experts at the Shark Lab. And hope you enjoyed this. Take care.